Hey everybody, Ian Foster from CenterCam here. We've been given the feedback that one of the key features for our content creators in using CenterCam is the ability to use CenterCam with a teleprompter. A lot of our content creators are using like these kind of glass mirror situations, and CenterCam's way easier. So I wanted to show you how that works. There are some tips and tricks and some best practices for doing it. Not like ethically or anything, but like just easier ways to use it that'll go a long way to maximize your presentations. So, a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is kind of presentation 101, but it's within the context of using CenterCam plus teleprompter. We've had a really good experience with telepromptermirror.com. It's a free website. We don't have any affiliation with them at all, but we've just been really pleased with the product. So just one tips and tricks strategy again is that when I'm using CenterCam, I'm usually throwing my video conference window around. I'm not typically actually moving the hardware around. You can do it either way. Sometimes you need to move the hardware out of the way as well, depending on what you're doing. But that was just a quick aside. So what I'm going to do today is show you a classic 80s love song, and that my friends and I were talking about the other day. It's a song by Foreigner called I Want to Know What Love Is. And it's really weird how the mind works, but I didn't know I knew all the lyrics to this until I was diving under the sea ice one year and I found myself singing it. It was really weird. And this is all totally unrelated. But the point of that unrelated story is that you see how quickly script text gets copy and pasted over into the teleconference environment. Up here you have a couple of controls. You have margin, you have speed, and you have font size. So all of those are going to change depending on where you are in the stage of ocular degeneration that all of us experience as we get older. I'm in my early 40s, so I'm starting to see the fact that I can't see as detailed as I could. A lot of our older customers are going to say you just wait, you little whippersnapper. And then some of our younger users are going to think their eyes are going to be like they are forever. So all of that being said, based on your audience, based on the tone, based on the material, all of that's going to change with your presentation material. The font, the speed, the margin, all of those things can change. If you're using just notes to present your material, then maybe you just have a bullet point every couple of minutes to kind of keep you on track. If you need to actually go verbatim, that's where the techniques I'm going to show you are going to come into play. So if you are reading a verbatim script, there's a technique of softening your gaze that I'm going to teach you today. The only way to show, so one of the main problems with reading a script is that it's really hard to not let your eyes go from side to side, which is one of the big giveaways of reading a script. And another big giveaway is that you just kind of go with the cadence of the words, like you're some third grader reading, a report. Nothing against third graders doing the schoolwork, but as professional presenters, we want to present ourselves a little bit better than that. We want it to be dynamic. We want it to feel a little bit more exciting than just reading verbatim. Hopefully this is all presentation 101 stuff for you. So if I'm taking this classical 80s song, I'm just going to do an initial test to see how it goes. I've got to take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. This mountain I must climb feels like a world upon my shoulders. So as I'm going through that, I'm seeing that I'm getting a little bit ahead of the script. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to pause it, come back to the beginning, change the speed, go a little bit slower. I was at 35. I'm going to go to 32. And then I'm going to start over again. It's going to take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Now, as I'm reading, what's happening is the reason the CenterCam is placed right in the middle of my teleconference script is that it allows me to either speed up or slow down while I'm getting the words basically in my soft focused gaze, kind of my periphery almost. So I'm not going to hard focus either at the center cam or the script. I'm kind of just going to allow my eyes to just soften, the focus to soften a little bit. What that allows me to do, it allows me to perceive the whole line that I'm reading instead of actually focus on each word, which gives away, the focus. Now, it is a skill. I'd never done it before, and I figured it out in about 4 takes. So it doesn't take a ton of work. It does take familiarity with your script, though. So you shouldn't use this technique and just launch into, eventually you'll be able to do that. But, if this is an important presentation, pretty much all the time you want to be familiar enough with your script that, it's not your first time through if it's important. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I could face it again. Can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. So you can't see what's happening with my eyes, but what's happening is I've softened my gaze, and I'm also using dynamic just with my voice. I'm either speeding up, slowing down, creating dynamic within the teleprompter environment. So that feels good, though. From a speed perspective, I could feel myself a little bit not able to, the margin's a little bit too wide. If you get out here, there's no way you can soft focus and get all of those words. So the narrower the focus, the easier it is. The narrower the overall margin is, the easier it's going to be for you to soft focus your eyes and actually do this technique that I've told you. And pain, I don't know if I can face it again. So another thing, as you make the margins greater and narrower in the middle, it means that your speed has to go up. So anyway, the point of that is that this is a whole process. You have to dial in the settings first of all, and then you have to practice your script. The main thing is that you want to soften your gaze so you can actually kind of see your script without actually having to focus on each word. And that's the main gist of it. It's really simple, and it's pretty dope. I'm not a professional presenter, and I figured it out pretty quick. And that is how to use CenterCam with teleprompter to read a classic 80s love song.